Hi, back. So, this again took a bit longer than I meant to. I was making another video, and then that just didn't. That's going to take a bit longer than I thought. Maybe I'll come out in the year. It might take longer. So, this ain't going to be quite as structured as the last one. It's going to be a bit more of an unhinged ramble. But I'm just going to do my rankings of albums here. And just kind of go through them. So, I'm going to link the. My eyes killing me. I'm going to link the Tumblr post where I put just a ranking of all the albums I listened to this year. I'm not going to talk about every single one of them. Most of them I don't have lots. Most of them I just kind of listen to. I feel like this has been a better year for singles than albums. I feel like Charlie X kind of summarizes that for me. Where I say this, well, I just say this now. I think it's a good album. I wasn't really bothered about it as an album though. I was mostly bothered about individual songs off it, like Guess, Talk, Girls I'm Confusing, Apple, Von Dutch are all great. But as an album as a whole, I was like, I'm not really that bothered. Although I feel like the only kind of lesser known track off it that was popular, that I really like, because I think about it all the time. Definitely a bit of a mood when you're in your late 20s, having like, you know, not midlife crisis, but, you know, like mini crisis about where your life's going. We're just gonna get into it. So the only real disappointments this year are kind of at the bottom. So like I would say it isn't really disliked or like hated. I don't hate it this year. But the bottom album is probably the only one I disliked really. Is Frank Carter, Dark Rainbow, because I just thought it was boring. And it's annoying because I like Frank. He can be so good, but I also hate that like most of the time I'm only really bothered about Frank when he's heavy. And I kind of annoys myself with that. It's not really that. I just kind of find it a bit simple of myself, but I'm only really bothered when he's angry. I'm annoyed. I wish I wasn't, but I just am. I mean, he's got some great stuff, but I think I'm more bothered about him as a live act than stuff. But it's a shame it's over now. And similarly, low down on the list, Zealanada. Again, I think what was disappointing about this for me was they are such a great blend of sound, and then if this they didn't blend so much, it was kind of stuck to the melodic side of it, and it just wasn't as enjoyable. Like I like the melodic stuff, but I like them when they get extreme and heavy, and there wasn't really any of that. So like the only song in this whole was like Hide and Shade. That's the one that so context. I do have a vague script. I'm just gonna go run up and down it because as we go through. Similarly, kind of disappointing. Not I wasn't super bothered about, but While She Sleeps. I didn't hate this. A lot of people hated this album. I think for me, it's a disappointment that if I go through all of While She Sleeps records, I found them to be one of the most consistent bands of the past 10 years. Like every album, I feel has been the same quality for me, except for this album. I just wasn't bothered. Like I said, it feels like a lot of people just hate this, and yeah, I feel like they're not warranting that level of hate. Yeah, the album's okay, but there's worse out there this year. This was not hate, but jumping up to so Porter Robinson is low down. It's not that I think it's bad. I think it's an interesting album. I'm just not that bothered. Cassiette's This World Fucking Sucks. But Dear Sister is a great song. As an album, not. Again, I don't think these are bad. These kind of lower ones on the lower end, again, it's just like, I don't bother. I don't really do rankings of like. No, I don't do. I do rankings. I'm doing an entire ranking video. I don't like do scoring as much as some people, I would say. This is more. I guess if I was going to give it none of these are like the 5 out of 10s. Even then, that sounds harsh. Like, it's fine. Scene Queen is weird. Finger was a great song. But what's weird is I feel like this came out and just went. Like, I heard no one talk about it. It's weird because she was building hype for the past 2 years and it just kind of feels like it's just kind of stopped. Maybe it's just me. Has anyone else noticed this? And lower down, again, Pixie Lot. I do feel this is another mention because it's the first album in 10 years. I'm not gonna lie, because where the camera is, I feel like maybe it's like this. This is her first album in 10 years, and ooh, I think it's good. I think I'm glad that she's evolved and she hasn't just come back and been like, "Hey, you remember me? I'm still me." And it's like, instead she's like, "No, here's a new sound for me," and I appreciate it. I always take evolution over stagnation out of any act. So we've kind of jumped up to where are we now? Getting into the 50s. Z. Certainly progressed from his old house. There, yeah. Try that one. I'm just. It's alright. Again, I appreciate the evolution. He's trying to do some new sounds there, and some of it is great. Shanty is great. No gravity, really like that. And there's a bit of a mixed bag. Some of it hits, some of it doesn't. I think the only disappointment really for me was the ending track on this because it just Zed and Muse having a really great sound. It was just kind of it's kind of a disappointment. And then we get into the 40s now. 47, 48, 49, Billy, Charlie, Sabrina. Probably going to get some controversy for putting them so low. Again, I don't think these are bad. I think these are okay, decent albums. I'm just not like hyped on them. I think Sabrina, I can see the hype, but I'm just not like super bothered about it. But Espresso is a banger. Like I wasn't that bothered until I saw it at. Sorry, I was in a club. It's out playing. I was like, oh, this goes off. But in a club, I was like, oh, now I'm digging it. Already said most of that. Next, Billy, not being a big Billy fan. Last album made me feel like an old man, and I was having like, it did that bit there. It did that thing I don't like, where it made me feel like, oh my god, that's what the kids are into, really. Oh, there's nothing here. But then I kind of immediately heard that in my head. I was like, oh, no, I'm just the old man, this ain't me. No one wants to be that old man. At that point, I was like 25. I was like, oh god, I'm already there. This I did like more. But weirdly, my issue with Billy, maybe, I don't know how it feels, is my issue with Deftones is the same thing of the mumble singing. I mean, I know mumble rap's the whole thing, but my problem with them is both of them. It's like I listen to this mumble sing style and it doesn't really work for me. I just kind of hear it and I'm like, project, sing. Like when Billy gets through that bit, man, I'm on a great, and she starts like bouncing it. I'm like, yes, this is what I want to hear from you. Again, that's just me though. But at least with Chino Marino and Deftones, he kind of interjects it with like screams too often. There's not really that with Billy. I think musically he does some really interesting stuff in this. And it's definitely an improvement on the last record for me personally. Improvement. I like Samo, but I think if I saw it at a festival, I would go to watch. Kylie, Tension. I like the first few tracks do feel like filler, like definitely stuff that was kind of off the cutting room floor of the last Tension. But then it gets towards the end, we get the collabs, kind of like Charlie. Really like the really like the collabs on this. Man, a Charlie Kylie collab would send the gays into a coma. I would be down for that. Not sending the gays into a coma. I mean, for Charlie and Kylie to do a collab. Side note, one of my favorite songs this year, Rebecca Black. Oh my god, Trust. Wow, I did not think I was going to love that song that much. I have been. Put it this way, in my Spotify most played, it's at number 12. And it only came out like 3 weeks before they wrapped up the Spotify Wrapped thing. Kids in Glass Houses. Credit to them. They haven't just come back and done a rehash of their old sound. This feels like the album they would have done anyway. Like if they hadn't broken up, coming on for 10 years. This is, if they had stayed together, this is the album they would have made anyway. Whether or not the past 10 years happened, does that make sense? Like this feels like the kind of natural evolution, again, kind of like Pixie in a way, as I would call it. Man, this would be a fun collab. And that's the thing. I feel like this would be Yeah, like I said, this feels like maturing. Was it aging like fine wine in it? You know, aging with grace. Not all of it hits for me, but there's some stuff in there. I remember them talking about on the Statman talking about like there's a Prince influence on that song, and I kept listening to different parts. I was like, which song is it? Because there's about 3 different songs it could be. Again, this feels like they've done something new, and I appreciate that. They've at least done. They haven't just gone, "Hey, you liked us in 2008? Here's a 2008 sound again." Bit further up is Pearl Jam. This is better than I expected, but I liked it more. Again, not that I thought they were bad. It's just wasn't. I wasn't bothered by Gigaton. It just didn't do anything for me. But this came out. I was like, "Oh, this is better." This sounds so critical. Like it's Pearl Jam for God's sake. I like 10. Gigaton wasn't that fast on. But Running, oh my god, that song feels like they just looked at every punk band going and went, "We're gonna do that. Let us have a crack at it," and just kind of steamroll every punk band going. So if you like Pearl Jam, you'll like it. Brothers of Metal, I'm just giving this a shout out because they have the line, "I'll high five you with the tip of my blade." Peak symphonic metal. Just yes, cheesy Euro metal, pure, the best kind of silly fun. I love that. The album's good as well, but that line is in Giant Slayer, and I'd say listen to that alone. If nothing else, it's just worth it for that. Where are we now? I think we're in the 30s. Yep. What else is there? Lady Gaga. First most interest I've ever had in jazz. Not being jazz is a bad thing. It's time to get to stuff I'm sticking around. Rustage, please do a show at some point. I would happily go see it. Like I've not really listened to his obviously I only listen to his albums. I don't really listen to the individual anime raps. I just listen to his own stuff. I guess I'm kind of the exception to the rule. But I say that I bet there's going to be some Rustage fans like, no, you're not. I know, okay. Then we get into the bottom. Hi, son. Yeah. Just getting to the top of the 30s now. Stand Atlantic. I don't know why I was surprised how much I like this album because I love Fear. It's pop punk's a weird one for me these days. It's a whole pop punk as a scene is something I need to kind of analyze myself. But this was really good. My only issue, it felt overproduced at times, but it was surprisingly heavy as well for Stand Atlantic. So that's not a problem for me. God, my back is. I think you can hear that. So there's that. Trash Boat. God, I hope Trash Boat are doing okay because obviously that just cancelled. I didn't know there was a tour happening until they just cancelled it, and I was re-listening to Toby on the Downbeat talking about his knee a few years ago, and now I'm just like, oh god, please don't tell me this is it. Please don't tell me he's having to get a knee surgery that could kill him. If you don't know, he's talked about how his knee is fucked and he's got to eventually have a knee surgery and he could lose his leg and could die. And he's just got to basically wait until the pain gets too much for him to bear. I bring that up because I wonder if that's why they cancelled, because they said about not giving you the show we can give you, or something like that. And I'm like, oh god, please tell me this. Anyway, Heaven Can Wait. If you are like me and not really bothered about earlier pop punk Trash Boat and like the last album bit, you'll like this. The more modern alt rock style. There's definitely some Deftones bits in there that like I just hear some earworms. I'm like, oh, this feels very Deftones, both in riffs and singing style on a few bits. And speaking of Toby, oh my god, what a vocalist he is. I feel like he doesn't get credit. Like some of these screams he's pulling off here, I'm like, Jesus, like no one could ever replace Chester Bennington. But I feel like if you let him have a run at it, he would do a better job than I think people will give him credit for. Because I've seen him do the Giving Up Scream live. I really think he deserves. Well, I think this band deserves everything. And I am a big fan. The music, but also being queer in the metal. Well, I did a whole video on this already about why this Trash Boat means so much to me. You can go watch it because Toby's queer. And that means a lot, having a song like He's So Good in my life. Now we're getting into the 20s. This one, Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. Again, I get some criticism for having it so low down to 29. I appreciate this album more than I like it. Does that make sense? It's a great album. I don't know how much I'm going to go back and listen to it because there's so much, to be honest, and even for me, there's a lot I would take out. That's the thing for a lot of albums, but especially with 27 songs. But I re-listened on just kind of it reminded me, just how versatile she is and what a talented musician and singer she really is. Like some of the stuff on this, and just the way she's able to do so much. And I think it was a case of, I get what you're going for, even if it ain't for me, but I respect craftsmanship regardless of that. This is probably the album I've changed my take on the most. Like when I look at the original take on it, and I think I left it, and when I looked towards the end of the year, it was at like 78, and I was like, well, it's definitely not. I wouldn't rank it there, so I re-listened. Obviously, probably the biggest jump. And I think there was a certain amount of cultural context to this album that I, as a Brit, am not going to get, because from what I know from an outside perspective, that like country, like most music genres, was started by black people, and it got commodified and whitewashed. And this is about her as a black woman reclaiming that genre and kind of doing that. And again, like I said, there's a lot of stuff within that I'm not going to get because I'm a Brit. There's stuff that I'm just not going to get because of the cultural context. But even without that, I still felt able to appreciate it, and that still kind of came across to me. So I know I've only got it on 29, but I do recommend it. I think this is a really good album. I think everyone should listen to it. And where are we now? See, this thing, now we're getting to the bottom. I have to keep kind of jumping back and forth. Bring the Horizon, Posthuman Next Gen at 28. I'm not sure how to feel about this album in a good way. Like, I like it. It definitely feels like, how do I put this? Like an ADHD brain was kind of let off loose and went off the rails, but in a good way. Like there's a lot of this. Knowing Jordan left explains a lot of this. Like I listen to it and I feel like there's a lot of stuff here. I feel like in the previous records Jordan would have like cut out and be like, let's trim this, and we're getting like the uncut version. Oh god. And I don't hate it. I think there's definitely some stuff where I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't think it's my favorite. It's certainly not my least favorite. Like, least favorite is definitely that weird little dance EP they did at the end of 2019. That was just no. Alright, what else did I say here? I think if you like Bring Me, I think if you like any of it, Bring Me, I'd say give this a try. I think there's kind of a bit of everything here. Next up is Glass Beach. I feel like these guys, imagine if Dillinger Escape Plan was an indie band, is the way I describe them. It's such a weird, I don't know how else to describe them. I really like them, and they're not really my kind of thing. Like, indie is such a weird space for me, generally. Like, there are a few indie bands I like, but they're kind of few and far between, and Glass Beach is so interesting. I just find it so interesting. I can't think of anything else to say. Yeah, that. Now we're getting to number 25, and that's Vower. Josh from Palmyra's new band. I'm not over Palmyra breaking up. I don't know when I will be. I love that band. Hearing Josh in a new band is weird, but not in a bad way. It's like, I like it. It's like a tentative yay. We'll see. Fairlane, Genesis. Oh my god, I love this. I love Fairlane. I am dying for this guy to come to UK. I don't think he'll ever see this, but Fairlane, if you do, please put those jerseys back on sale, because I couldn't afford it at the time, and I would love to get those jerseys. The ones are on sale in the summer. Genesis, yeah, it was really good. I've been waiting like a year and a half for Only the Good Die Young to come out, and that was such a good song, and it's up there for song favorites. Maybe favorite songs of the year was somewhere. Though I feel bad for the EP in a way, because it came out and then he put out Rocker later, like 6 months later. I was like, oh, this is better than the entire EP, and I feel bad for this EP now. But Rocker, I would say go listen to that. It's such a good song. I love it because I think I love Fairlane because he's so on the nose rocktronic, and that's a good thing. It sounds like a bad thing, but it's a good thing. I mean it. Like, if someone asks you give me an example of rocktronic, he's like what it says on the tin. It's a mixture of rock and electronic, and he is very much that. And I love it because it is kind of Rocker was him diversifying a bit, where it was him doing like the rocktronic, but there's a bit of drum and bass in there and a bit of hardstyle elements into that song all in one song. And I was just like, oh my god, this is so good. I am dying to see this guy live. But the EP is really good as well. I think it does start a bit stronger for me because I love Only the Good Die Young. But yeah. And then we got Shakira. I don't know what to expect from Shakira anymore, but in a good way. I didn't realize how long it had been since her last album until I realized like when she last put an album out, I still had like a year of uni left. It's been that long. God, it's been nearly coming up on like 6.5, 7 years. Oh god, it's nearly a decade out now. But Shakira, what I love about it is she's so versatile. She can do anything. Like when you listen to this, again, there's different styles to this, and I love this. I'm just happy to have a full album finally. Hoping she comes back to the UK. I think she will. We'll see. Where are we now? Are we getting to the top 20? I think we are. Yeah, Seagulls, Midnight Butterflies. Again, another of my favourite indie. Not favourite. Favourite indie bands isn't saying much for me. Another indie band I like, which is. I feel like they are the platonic ideal of the British indie rock band, if you know what I mean. Again, kind of like Fairlane. Like, if you ask me what modern indie rock sounds like, that's what I would say Seagulls is. I really like them and I would like to do this album again. Then we get Normani, Dopamine. This was a bit of a mixed bag, but it has improved so much on re-listens. The first few songs I wasn't that bothered, but then we got to Take My Time, and then we got to Insomnia, and oh my god, whoever's doing the guitar work on Insomnia and Little Secrets is getting that pay. They got paid. I love that. Those two songs, they are so good, and it does kind of go up and down a bit. There's a few hits, a few misses, and I feel like it's a mixed bag, but in a good way. And if I listened to it, I was like, you know what? I think the high is better than the lows on this. I think it is a really good album, and if you didn't listen to this and you listened to the other ex-Fifth Harmony singer who put an album out in June, you picked the wrong one. And I say that I did like her last album, but then I found out about the Tumblr stuff. I was like, oh, I'm gonna just stay away. Alec Benjamin, my favorite generic white boy with guitar. I don't know why I like it. Well, no, I do know. I can look him up and down in the notes. I feel like he's a spiritual success to Al anyway. Not like he went anywhere, but like in the way that he kind of writes, is something in my brain is so able to like create a story from what he says. I think maybe he's just being basic with the way he's this kind of guy. I don't know, but the way it just ticks in my brain really well, and I like the way it makes my brain feel. God. But he sounds happier this time round compared to last time, and I like that. Yeah. Glorilla, I did not expect to like this as much as I did, but oh my god, this it's one of those I can't dance, but god, it makes me want to dance. You know what I mean? Luke Fiasco, Samurai, jazz rap. Not a jazz rap fan, but I like this album. Oh god, I didn't put it down here, but Thames, Born in the Wild, it's like down in 50, but Love Me JJ, I love that song. Not so bold at the album, but I really love that song. Nina Nesbitt. Nina. I remember the first time I listened to this, I was not having the best day, and the melancholy nature of this album really hit that day, but I really like it, and on re-listening, I think I definitely like this. You know, I'd say this is my favourite album of hers she's done. Because I've been listening to her since like 2012. She was my first ever gig. Yeah, I think she's really coming in. Well, coming into it. She's already been doing this. This is a really good armor. Okay, that's all you need to know. Then we get to Cupcake doing exactly what I expect Cupcake to do. I am just going to flick through. Yeah, this is Cupcake doing what you expect. Was surprised we got a new Cupcake because she hadn't done anything in like 6 years. So I didn't think we'd get anything, but oh my god, I love it so much. Cupcake's been one of my favorite releases arcs this year to listen to. She's just great. Echo Pressure. So he does. God, this guy pumps albums out. I wish I had that kind of ability. But this, if you remember when you did Look What You Made like 2 years ago, that kind of this feels like an evolution of that. Like that was him trying to do like an old rap style, emo rap style, not emo rap, not in the TikTok way, but like his own take on it, I guess. This feels like an evolution of that, but in a really good way. Like last time he was kind of throwing out, trying to think something. This time around he was like, I have an idea, I know what I want, and I'm going to nail this one down. And that was more of like tentative. This is more of a proper rap rock record. And God, I hope this has a crossover because I want to see this guy in the UK. If he could do this at download, I reckon. So please come to the UK, Echo. I'm dying to see you. If not, hey, want an interview? I don't. Yeah, like I said, the more tighter and focused production, and God, it's so good. Let me just check where. Oh. Harriet. I wasn't that bothered about this when it initially came out, but the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, this is a stunner for the record. Like, it's weird. Like, I wouldn't call it metalcore, but in a way, I would. Like an extreme metal band, but it's very hardcore style and influence and sound of it. Like they're doing extreme metal in a very hardcore way. I don't know how else to describe it. Like that's it. Really good. I just think they are definitely one of the best new metal bands coming. Speaking of metal, Crossfaith. Again, don't know why I was surprised how much I like this, but oh my god. I think it's because it's been so long. The last album was 6 years ago, and they haven't done anything since the EP, like at the beginning of COVID. Oh god, I feel like Crossfaith are in this place like they're not. I feel like they're kind of weirdly underrated because I feel like they've never really peaked beyond like doing 1,000-person venues, and I feel like they should be doing like Brixton and stuff like this. Really kind of just proves that for me. Dua Lipa. Again, my first initial review of this was like, yeah, it's okay. And it wasn't that bothered, but the more I've listened to it, the more I've really got into it. That, again, one of my favorite record of the year now. End of an Era and Happy Few cannot decide which of my favorite songs I'm going to do. They're both great. Listen to it so much, but End of an Era really. No, both. It's a really good album, and I feel like this is kind of gonna get credited as an underlooked album in the future. You heard it here first? No, you didn't. You heard it from Black Genix. That's where I'm kind of going for this. But yeah. Yeah, I think if you gave this a try and you weren't that bored, give it another try. Next up, Unleash the Archers. Feels like forever since I last listened to it. God, it was, summer 2020. But it is, again, just me loving what I love, which is just big, epic, majestic symphonic metal. Love it. For some reason, Give It Up or Give It All gives me really like early 2000s pop rock vibes. Like I don't know why I feel like it could be like a cover. It gives me Kelly Clarkson Breakaway era vibes. Maybe there's a similar melody or something in there. It's surprising they're an American act because they feel like a European act in spirit. You know what I mean? I think that's because that is kind of similar, but it's just kind of owned by European metal acts. John Summit, really good. Comfort Gas, like Elenian. I feel like he's like Elenium in that he really has a grip on the diversity of EDM and manages to do a lot of different sounds within this. Like you've obviously got Go Back, it's got that drum and bass sound, and then there's think it was the song he did with Of the Trees. It was is the one where it had a very like UK garage style to it, and I want to see him live. Yeah. So obviously, I'm not gonna bother putting timestamps in here because most of these I'm just covering so quickly. See you, Space Cowboy, coup de grace. When people say this is a throwback to an earlier time, it kind of sounds like a derogatory term, like being like, oh, just you're doing a rehash of something else, or a derivative spin on something older. But this feels like that in the best way. Like, this just feels plucked right out of like 2005 Warped Tour post-hardcore scene. Like, you could play it there, put it with those. If it had come out then, it would feel just as new and fresh as it does now, which is impressive and insane in its own way. Like, it wouldn't feel out of place then, and it somehow simultaneously manages to not feel dated or rehashed, but new, invigorating, exciting, and it's like, that's hard to pull off for anyone. I guess a bit like Spirit Box in a way, where it feels like they're not doing it, revolutionizing the metalcore sound, yet they're bringing something new to the table as well. Fitting, Courtney's in this. Trans ally, yay. We need more of those in the metal scene. I'm impressed how they pulled off the sound. Please get them on the Bullet Trivium tour. I don't know if they're doing, the support was already announced for this or not, but I had a split second where my mic wasn't plugged in this entire time. But yeah, this album is great. Halsey. I mean, I kind of already said this on the last video, but yeah, of course I love it. It's Halsey. Of course I'm gonna love it. I do think, again, it's a bit like If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power, where I'm gonna definitely come to appreciate this more and more with each listen. Like, that's gonna be the way it goes, I think, with this one. I was surprised how much of this album is acoustic, because she's obviously an electro pop, like dark synth pop, whatever you want to call it. Singer, she's decided to go for more of an acoustic sound to this album. But I think it's an amazing album. Completely disagree with Fantana. I don't know why she re-released it and then put that extra track on at the end. I like the song Alice of the Upper Class, but I feel like if I was going to add it in, I would just add it further on because I would rather it end with The Great Impersonator. Well, I say that. Put Megan last and then Halsey because I've kind of changed those because these two could basically be neck and neck. I love them both. And speaking of Megan, I love this obviously, and I love that it feels like she's loving making this record. Like I love the last one, but knowing how much of that she wanted to make and how much that was like record contract. But this feels like her kind of like happy to be making music again. Obviously, yeah, as I say, like Cobra is such a dark song. I initially listened to just the rock version, but listening to the original with like the guitar solo in that, it was really interesting. And having the Jujutsu Kaisen voice actor in this was like, yes, of course. This is the thing. I would love to meet her just because I know we could chat about anime forever. I would just love to just chat anime with her. That'd be great. And yeah, like I said, it's good. It feels she's happy in herself with this. I love that. Just to hear. Number 4, Eliminate. This was biggest surprise of the year because I'd never heard of it before I saw EDM Maniac's review of him. And yeah, the way he kind of blends different styles in that like you can kind of pick out the different influences and elements in these songs, yet they don't feel kind of tacked on. It feels like he's able to find that balance where each influence is obvious, but they also blend so well together into each of these songs. Yeah, this nearly was record of the year for me. Like it really came close, like for a while there. And then number 3 is Has Been Hotel. I'll admit it's a bit weird of a one for me to throw in there. A bit like why I didn't put Defiant the Wicked soundtrack in because obviously I love seeing Wicked, but it's like those songs aren't new songs; they are 20-year-old songs. Just it doesn't really count. in a way, is it like, do I count this? Because it's not an album per se, it's a show, it's the soundtrack of a show. So it doesn't flow like an album does. But it also kind of does, because it's kind of a lot of the stories being told through the songs, so you kind of gather that. And I feel like I have to put it on there because I listened to Stay Gone so much. Like, I think at one point I just literally one day I put it on like 5 times in a row, and that, even for me, that's rare to do it, like literally repeating that much. God, if that had been like my most played like artist of the year, that would have been hilarious. Number 2, Not Blues. You won't go before you're supposed to. They did something impossible. I listened to this and went, this needs to be longer. That never happened. Like every album, even though if I had a top 10 albums all the time, there are songs that I would cut out. No, this I was like, no, I need more. I feel like you could have added on like 8 minutes more, and that would be like the right length. So that's impossible. What the hell? Like, just how do they keep doing it? They can't keep getting away with it. God, this album's amazing. Suffocate. The fact they went, we're gonna take a reggaeton beat and make it metal. Oh my god, it works so much better than I thought it would. Like, they made twerkable metal. Well done. And they made it so savage as well. Like, Poppy, I've never listened to her stuff, but Poppy, oh my god, on that song, I'm like, wow. Just, I've seen them live twice now. I want to see them after this again, but oh my god, they will destroy everything. Just an insane feat of a record. But just clicked out. I'll admit, if Chapel Road had put Midwest Princess out this year, this would be like joint number 1. That would be, because only one record has equaled Chapel Road this year, and that's my number 1. Nightwish, Yes to Wine. Oh my god, of course I was going to love this. It's Nightwish, they're my favourite band. Just absolutely stunning. Of course I love it. What's surprising, I put no review in initially when I went back through my stuff. It decided not going to tour it. It's weird. I hope they'll be doing something. I feel this is maybe my favourite of the Floor era. I think my only issue with the Floor era in general is Floor is so good at encapsulating everything great about the Nightwish, and I feel like her records don't capture that. Like, they lean too much on like the like balladry side of it. I love Nightwish do so many great ballads, but I feel like it's great when they have all these different sounds. Like, I think the Anna records are my favorite because they are kind of the perfect mixture of all that. And I feel like Floor's records have leaned a bit too more to one side, to the like ballad and folksy side. And Floor can take those songs and take the Talia songs and take these songs and just nails it. She's maybe the perfect frontwoman for this band, personally. I love them all, but I think what I love is that she's so versatile and she's able to just nail every song they do, and yet I don't quite feel like that's being reflected. I just want the record. This was the closest any of the records got to that, feeling like nailing every aspect. Like, I just remember listening to An Ocean of Strange Islands and just kind of my jaw being on the floor, like, oh my god, it feels like old Nightwish in the best way, not in like a rehash. It feels like this could have gone on Dark Passion Play, and I loved it. And yeah, Perfectly Timeless was great as well. Antique Fairer Mechanism, I'm definitely. My only thing is, yeah, after that it kind of gets a bit more ballady, and I would have maybe put Perfume of the Timeless a bit later on in the album because of that. But of course I love this album. It's weird not having Marco there, and that sucks. But I feel like, considering they lost Marco between these records, they did a great job carrying on without him, which I hope when Nightwish call it a day, and I think there's a chance that this one they do, because I thought this was going to be the last record. I thought this is what surprised me about not touring, because I generally thought they were going to call it a day in 2026 at the 30th anniversary and like wrap it all up there. But if they're not touring this one, I don't know. But we'll see. But I think this what I thought was, I think if they, whenever they do a farewell tour, they'll get Marco back, and they'll get. I could see him getting like Taya, and Anna, not back for a whole tour per se, but maybe for the last few shows, and be like a proper like reunion of everyone. But yeah, I just adore this band. I am just a shameless fanboy. That's weird, even though I'm a shameless fanboy. I don't have any merch of theirs. I should do. I just. I got nothing else. I just want nothing but love for this band. Nothing but love. I say that I obviously just put my Christmas, but you know what I mean. Like, this band are just great. I love them. So I guess that wraps it up. This has definitely been less albums this year, despite how that might seem to some of you. 85, because I was at 159 in 2022 and 126 last year. I've definitely reduced it because I was doing an album a week, and last year I made it to an album a week. I missed 1 week in 2022. I think I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've some ideas for next year. What I'm gonna do in terms of albums. But so here's the thing. Like and subscribe because I am unemployed, and at this point, I feel like I've got as much chance going viral on this than I do of getting a job. It just feels like the job market's not there anymore. So I have a much chance of making profit of this, which is not making profit. This is not going to. But if I could somehow make this a career in the next year, that'd be really good. Because not like anything's working anyway. I might do. I'm gonna try and figure out where I'm going with this channel again. I don't think I could do this like every month. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna figure stuff out. I'm gonna try and. I've got some ideas. But in the meantime, hey, if you wanna, spread this about. If I can make it get to the point where I can start making money off this, I'd be very happy. Because I would much rather be doing that than have to go back to retail. Please, I spent 10 years in retail. 11 years. I don't want to do retail again, but if I have to, I have to. But if I don't have to, that'd be great. Yeah. Like and subscribe. How many times? See if that works. If I keep saying it. No. So, like I said, it's been a great year for albums. It was a greater year for singles, whereas last year was a better year for singles. Last year, no, 2023 was a better year for albums. This year was a better year for singles. I'm interested to see where next year goes. But I'm excited. We shall see where it goes. So yeah, I think I've just given you everything I can really give. So hope you had a good Christmas. Have a happy New Year. See you in 2025.